Hello folks, this is Robert again from your Sears Hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed or having a backache or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears Hometown store. So come on down to your Sears Hometown store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Horton out the world famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, riding with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Just Sports, and also welcome to your Hometown Sears studio. My name is Les Martin, along with our executive producer, Honeybee.
And I'm Brent Allen.
We certainly want to take an hour out of your day to join us. We thank you for doing so. Before we get started, we're going to have a brief rundown of what we're possibly going to talk about tonight.
Sounds good to me.
We're going to talk about the Campbell County Cougar baseball team. They went and played at Halls last Saturday. Coach Brandon will be calling in tonight about 10 minutes after 9 or so, somewhere in that neighborhood. Also, we're going to be talking about the middle school baseball team. March 8th is the big day, the play day for those folks. We're going to talk a little bit about the UT basketball team, as well as the NFL. Peyton Manning passed his physical.
That he did.
So now it's a $20 million payout coming to Mr. Peyton Manning. If you're a doctor of the Denver Broncos and you're the owner, do you tell the doctor, hey, fail him on his physical so you don't pay him the $20 million? I thought about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think $20 million at this point is that big of a deal to them.
Not after they've seen what he's done for them the last 2 years.
Exactly.
So before we get talking about all of that, we're going to be talking about our sponsors, as always. First and foremost, we want to say thank you to Rainbow Ford. Folks, it is the home of the guaranteed financing. Rainbow Ford, bad credit, bankruptcy, it doesn't really matter. Rainbow Ford can get you in a new Ford truck or car today. Their phone number is 562-2251. Also, they have extended service hours on Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1. Also, we want to say thank you to Charlie's Pizza. Folks, for 38 long years, they've been doing pizza the old-fashioned way. Often imitated, never duplicated. Now they have added many more menu items to the Charlie's Pizza guru, should I say, and they do those extremely well also. Their phone number for call-in orders is 562-0116, or if you'd like to just go in and sit down, it's a great family atmosphere. Go down and sit down and have a great time. That's where Brent and I spend a lot of our time during football season. Every Thursday night is broadcasting live from Charlie's Pizza. And the phone number is 562-0116. Also, we want to say thank you to Birch Screen Printing, downtown La Follette beside the Birch Memorial Bridge. If it's like the shirt that I have on, the windbreaker, or the sign that you see that's hanging up behind us, you know, it's political. It's a political year, guys. It's time to go down to Birch Screen Printing and get your signs, put them out all over the county. Just make sure you pick them up when the election's over. And I took notice, they've done a very good job with that the last couple of elections.
You're right, and it has been noticeable. I think a noticeable change, I should say.
Yeah, it has. Before they used
to sit there half a year.
Yeah, but and I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but it's just a thought, food for thought. But their phone number is 562-3044. Go down and see Larry, Kobe, or Don at Bird Screen Printing for all your screen printing needs. Also, All-Star Award 720 Jacksboro Pike for your trophies or plaques. David will take care of you. It's in the A-frame building right across from Sonic. The phone number is 562-6761. And certainly last but not least, we want to say thank you to your hometown Sears store at the Food City Shopping Center. Go down there for anything that you need inside or outside of your home. Their phone number is 562-7700. And we certainly appreciate everybody that has contributed to the Just Sports Show, and we have been on, this is going on our third year
Absolutely.
that we've been on the air here on WLAF.
They make it all happen.
Yeah, and without those folks, it would be impossible.
That's right.
So, with that being said, Coach Browning should be calling in here pretty soon. Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air.
Hi,
How are you, Miss Kay?
man. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic.
Great.
He's like Tony the Tiger. He's doing great.
Okay.
How was your day? How was your day?
I'm living mad this evening.
You what?
I'm just living mad.
A little bit mad. What about?
And my brother and my sister, I'm mad at them.
Well, you know what that means? That means you're going to have to hurry up and get unmad because they're your brother and sister.
Yep. That's going to happen.
That's going to
I
happen.
know.
That's going to have to happen, Kay, Miss Kay.
Sadly, my mother going to the Kennedy again.
Oh yeah.
Now, they don't give her no water, much water to
Well, hopefully, if everything goes good, we hope to have Coach Price call into the show Thursday.
I hope so.
Well, are you going to listen and watch?
Yeah, I'm listening to you on the radio.
Okay. So you don't watch us anymore?
I think my husband will give me the table.
Oh, so you're listening to us on the radio. Well, bless your heart.
There is a casino, so
Well, who's your favorite team? We'll talk to you Thursday.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
And by the way, folks, before we really get in depth of talking about a lot of different stuff, I kind of like the radio. You know I get up here and I scratch my face and I take a drink when I've got something to drink when we're on the air. And I know everybody can see us when I do that, but I'm just fond of the radio. You know, I'm like, Alan Jackson had a song he sung that he could see it all on the radio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good song.
Yeah, and I just have always been a big radio fan ever since I was.
There's a certain bit of nostalgia with listening to the radio and using your own imagination.
Right.
To, but at least this way, on TV, people can put a name or a face with the voice.
Right.
And even though I've been told we have faces for radio.
Radio,
so
yes.
I'm not sure what that means.
We have faces for radio, and here's the good thing about it, is the fact is you can pick us up on AM 1450 as well as 1450WLAF.com, also on WLAF Channel 12. The only show WLAF has that is broadcast simulcast through the radio, television, internet.
Internet, worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yep.
Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air.
I got enough for watching that radio when I was a kid.
Oh, not me. Let me tell you. When I was a kid, I used to listen to Monday Night Football on my AM transistor radio.
No, but you can't watch a radio all day. You weren't having lights back at the TV, but watching that radio, I lose that thing, because I put it back on charge.
Gotcha.
The weather radio.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fellas look like Mikey. You look like you didn't need anything.
That's pretty
You know
close.
what? After I went to the doctor today and they weighed me and I was 250.8 pounds, yeah, it looks like I have been eating everything.
Well, if Mikey won't eat it, nobody won't eat it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, trust me. I
They
get,
tell me I've got a cast on stomach. I can eat anything.
Me
wow.
I'm thankful I don't, that I can eat about anything if I like it. You take care.
All
Me
righty.
too.
Bye-bye.
And take care of Ryan.
I will.
He's a good one.
Yeah, I know. I went up there and seen him today at high school.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Speaking of Campbell County baseball, I went up and seen Coach Browning and Coach Miracle today. They was working on some running drills and some passing drills. When I say passing drills, working on, and it sounds like football, didn't it? When I said passing drills, they were throwing the ball from home plate to second. They was trying to throw the runner out.
Right.
And they had a runner on third, and just as soon as the catcher would throw the ball to second, they would send the runner on third, and they was working on the relay throw from second to back to the catcher to try to get that young man running down the third baseline coming
Oh,
home.
yeah.
And stop and think about it. When you get in that situation in high school baseball and you get somebody on first and you get somebody on third and somebody steals from first to second, most of the time, and we've seen it last year, we held the ball instead of throwing it to second because we didn't have a good enough relay throw or a good enough throw to get it back from second to home plate in time to get the runner that's coming from third.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. It's tough with 8, 9, 10-year-old boys, but these high school kids can run that drill, and it's a good drill. You know, when they know what they're doing, it can work, and it will work. Of course, a good coach, a good third base coach, will know when that drill's coming, or when the other team's about to do it. So there's a lot of strategy involved. You know, people don't realize that when they don't have any, when they just watch a game, they don't realize what all's going on. And I'm sure that there's a lot that I don't know when it comes to strategy, and especially in other sports like hockey and things I don't watch much of. But being around some coaches and stuff, listening to them talk and watching some of the drills makes a lot of sense. You know,
Yeah.
and it really it's really something that makes it more interesting to watch the game.
Well, I know that Campbell County went to Halls Saturday. They played at 10 o'clock against Halls, and then at 11:40 they played against Sevier County. Sequoia did not show up, so they played, what Campbell County did was play 2 10-inning games at Halls Saturday. I talked to Brian Miracle just a bit about how they performed. He said that they thought that they performed extremely well. They threw some young pitchers instead of running the aces out there on the mound and throwing the aces. They used a lot of young pitchers, and he said that they had some stuff that they had to work on. And the only thing that I can think of, Halls is a very good team. Sevier County is a good team. And I think it was probably just to get these young guys some work against a team that's in the district, which is Halls.
These games don't count, right?
No. It's what they call a play day.
Right.
But it's one of those situations to where if you can take your young pitchers, much like Brady York, Ben Bostick, and a couple of those others, that you can get them some work in against a Class A opponent, you kind of get some butterflies out of the way, finds out how your pitchers is going to react when they play a top-notch team. And it's one of those games, like you said, they don't count. So what's there to lose except the fact of getting the young kids some experience, especially on the hump?
Yeah, they're gaining experience, and the coaches are able to gauge what they need to work on the most, especially in a real live game situation.
Right.
Something that they may not do. You know, there's a lot of times a little nervousness may cause them to speed up their windup or something that's different about that, and they're able to check that out and work on it. Gives them something to do.
Also, middle school baseball, folks, March 8th at Campbell County High School at 10 o'clock, the middle school will play Gibbs. And then at 6 o'clock, I believe at 6 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, they will play Lenore City, North Lenore City Middle. We need to make sure that we go out there and support these young men and support this baseball team. Coach Browning, as everybody knows, Coach Browning resigned as Lady Cougar basketball coach. And now he's coaching baseball.
Right.
So it's one of those situations where I look for the baseball program. I mean, let's face it, we got Ben Bostick at first base and Andrew Evans. Andrew Evans is probably going to be the ace of the pitching staff. We're going to have Jake Mundy at second base, Tate McGee at shortstop. You got Joe Williams at third base, Tucker Kane at center field, Brady York at right field. I didn't get the young man's name at left field, but On the mound, you'll either have Andrew Evans, Tate McGee, Tucker Kane, could have Brady Ork. Also behind the plate, you're either going to have Logan Ork, Max Ferris, or another young man. I don't call his name either, but they've got a lot of experience. And having the experience that they need this year, going into the games that they're going to have starting March the 10th, I believe. It will be March the 10th.
So Monday.
Well, this says the 7th.
That would be a Friday.
Oh, here we go. March the 10th, yes, March 10th, and it's going to be Powell. March 11th at Central, March 12th at Oak Ridge. So you've got 3 away games, 10th, 11th, and 12th of March, against 3 really good teams. And I still feel like with Coach Browning and some of the things that I've seen them work on the last couple of times I've been up there, I really believe that they can come out there with a 2-1 record. Now, will that be the case? I don't know. I mean, stop and think about it. You got 3 games back to back. You have no rest in between those games, so you can't run your ace out there every game.
Right.
You know, you got to run your ace out there. You got to pick out.
It's going to have to play good defense.
Right. And if you're a coach, Brent, say you're a baseball coach and you only got 1 or 2 aces, pitching aces. You know, I mean, I'm talking about a true ace that can get out there and throw the ball.
Yeah.
You got Powell, Central, and Oak Ridge. Who do you start that ace against?
I say come out of the hole swinging. You know, put them on the mound right off the bat. I don't know what the rotation is as to how many they can play. You know, how many pitches, if it's the pitch count. But I say go ahead and get that out of the way, because if you can come out and hit Powell in the mouth and get a winner off the bat, that starts your season off right.
Right.
Might as well throw the gun. You know, shoot the big guns.
I agree with that. It's one of those situations to where looking at Powell, Central, and Oak Ridge, I would think that Oak Ridge will be the heavy hitter out of those 3 games.
Probably.
You know, do you want to save your ace 3 days into the season, or do you throw him like you say you would throw your ace right off the bat?
Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. Obviously, it means nothing, and it's probably incorrect. That's just my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
We'll see what the coach has to say, but I mean, certainly, that's just the way I look at things. I think you should hit them head on and you know, give it your best shot right off the bat and see where things fall.
But
You have to look at the probability too. If Oak Ridge is the toughest team of those 3, I mean, if that's the case, and I don't know that to be the case,
Right.
I'm really just making an assumption, unless unless you've seen something different.
No.
But just because of Oak Ridge's size and history, it
Right.
kind of leads you to believe that they're probably going to be the toughest team. But we don't know that, so you know, why say, you know, why we may. If you don't do it that way, we may end up finding out that Powell is the toughest team in the district, you know, and we missed a shot.
I think starting your ace going against Powell, and if you come out of there with a victory against Powell, what does it do for your ball club? The morale goes through the roof.
Yep.
It gives that second day starter, whether that be Tucker Kane, Tate McGee, whoever it may be, it gives them a ton of confidence. It gives your team a ton of confidence.
I think it lowers pressure too. I mean, I think pressure is lowered. You know, you've already got a win under your belt. It's not like you're chasing that first win now. You know, you can go ahead and get out there and play ball. And it's the same way as in football or anything else. That first hit, you know, the butterflies go away, and then it's back to baseball.
It's game on.
Right.
It's game on. So, with that being said, we're waiting on Coach Browning to call in. Hopefully, he hadn't forgot about us. He may be tied up late with baseball practice or whatever the case may be, but we talked about the middle school baseball team, March the 8th, having their play day. So we'll move on.
But while we're waiting and we're still talking about the diamond, we can mention that Saturday there was a real good turnout for the softball, the Lady Cougars softball team. Great job, a lot of parents and of course all the players were there and the coaches. Everybody did a great job.
Was there a lot of parents there?
Yeah, a lot of good turnout. I was impressed, and a lot of hard work getting that place looking good. The dugouts are repainted. The field looks great. Got the tarp rolled out to keep the weather from messing it up in the meantime.
Yeah.
Got the nets put up for the batting cage. And you know, a lot of good work, a lot of, you know, picking up garbage, just things that need to be done that they can't get done throughout the week. And nice way to start off. Coach Mungar's done a great job getting the girls ready, working a lot of gym time, a lot of exercise that they probably haven't, a lot of them weren't used to, which is good. And she's done a great job with uniforms. They've got all new uniforms and hoodies, and it just really looks sharp. And that's part of the experience, in my opinion. I mean, it's to me, it's just like a football team getting new equipment, getting new uniforms and all that stuff. It's almost like starting fresh. And I think they're doing a great job with it.
Yeah, and it puts your kids in a situation also to where, you know what, they feel better about themselves, and when they feel better about themselves, they play better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, the outcome, who knows what the outcome may be. It's one of those situations, that's the reason why they play the game.
That's right.
They play the game, I believe it's 7 innings at high school softball, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right. And win or lose, they'll look good doing it, you know,
Exactly.
and feel good.
And that's all that matters, especially with a program like that. I know that Coach Mungar is doing a very good job with getting the program off the ground. And you said something earlier, and pitching was the key.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, softball, it still amazes me. We were talking about it prior to coming on to the show, and watching these girls pitch is just amazing to me. It seems like something that you would have to start at 6, 7 years old to really master. And I'm pretty amazed at the girls that we do have pitching, watching them get out there and throw that ball. It seems so awkward to us, you know, but they do a great job. And in my opinion, pitching is key. You know, last year, the games that I got to go to, I saw some pretty impressive pitching. I mean, the kind of pitching that can basically hold down a team. I mean, it's tough to bat against. They were throwing strikes, and the ball was moving. You know, it's really impressive to watch. So this year, I think got some talented girls out there. And like I said, everything looks like it's moving in the right direction. Again, you know, you have to compare it to the football team. You know, when Coach Price got here and his staff, you know, they still had a 3-7 season. You know, actually 2 3-7 seasons, I believe,
Right.
if I'm correct. It's not an overnight thing, but they started moving in the right direction from day one, and that's what Coach Mongar is doing. She's really putting a lot of time and effort into trying to make something out of this program.
Well, and it certainly takes time, especially if you don't have pitching, because
And
of pitching.
we don't have the kind of programs other counties do at that level.
Right.
You know, most of the young girls in our county end up playing they start off with t-ball, and they'll play baseball, you know, and then they have to go elsewhere for softball. At least that's the way it's been in the past. And I think it's something that probably should be looked into a little further. You know, maybe a little more work in the softball area.
Well, I know that the softball has really picked up at the Campbell County Youth Baseball Program.
Right.
I believe the softball has came a long way. Although they're going to try to have more softball teams. I know that the last couple of years it's been growing, but like you said, pitching is developed at a very early age. You know, it's going to take more than just a couple of years before you get to high school to really get that down pat, because it's an art.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's no way I could do it.
Yeah,
It's impossible.
I agree. It's really something impressive to watch. You know, of course, we watched Monica Abbott. You mentioned her earlier before the show as well. Watching these collegiate and professional or girls that get out there like the Olympics, it's amazing. I mean, they're smoking that ball.
Oh yeah.
And it's just hard to believe that their arms can withstand that. But as we talked about, I read somewhere, maybe Greg Brackett was telling me, I can't remember who was telling me, but doctors have said that it's less stressful on your arm than a baseball pitch, which to us seems crazy because it's so natural, you know.
Yeah.
But it's actually an unnatural, for your body, it's unnatural to throw the baseball and more natural to pitch the softball.
Wow. Yeah. See, I would, there's no way I'd be able to pitch softball.
I think I'd have a big bruise on the back of my leg where I kept hitting myself.
Oh yeah, be black and blue and purple, all that stuff. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the UT basketball as well. Also, we'll talk a little bit about the National Football League, where Jerry Jones said that DeMarcus Ware may be a casualty of the salary cap for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, here's my question to you. They restructured Tony Romo's deal to where they could move $12.5 million of Tony Romo's deal to a signing bonus, but yet they want DeMarcus Ware to take a pay cut. DeMarcus Ware is set to make $27.5 million over the next 2 seasons, $12.25 million with a $500,000 workout bonus this year, and then $13.75 million for the and $500,000 for a workout for 2015, but yet they want him to take a pay cut.
Well, it seems ludicrous to me, and obviously it does to you as well, but here's what we have to take into account. The guys that are playing the same position as him, where does he stack up money-wise? And how much, when you compare what he's being paid and his production in comparison to the other guys playing the same position, and I don't have that information. I mean, and it may be right in line, I don't know. But I think that's something to consider. Personally, I think, as long as they're paying Romo big money, or they're throwing good money after bad, or whichever the way that goes, bad money after good, whatever, it's a waste of money. I think the guy's, he's a choke artist, and I think he's got all the tools, and he's shown that he can do it, but the consistency's not there. And as long as he's there, as long as he's leading that football team, it's doomed to the same outcome.
Yeah, so you don't think he's an NFL playoff caliber quarterback?
No, I don't. I think you take Jason Witten off that team and they fall on their face. And yes, I'm pretty biased towards Jason Witten, but the numbers don't lie. Right. Anytime he gets in trouble, who does he throw it to? He looks for 82. And he, of course, now over the past couple of years, he's had a little extra help. But for several years there, it was all, when things are looking bad, throw it to Witten. And you take that guy that comfort. That's like his blanket.
Right.
Take that away from him, and he's got nothing.
Exactly. Folks, we're going to continue this conversation about the National Football League. Also, the National Football League is looking to make more changes because they do not want the National Football League, they do not want to be known as boring. And just to give you some kind of a hint of what I'm talking about, out of all the extra points last year, 1,267 extra points that was attempted, 1,262 of those was made, so only 5 was missed. The National Football League does not want to be talked about as being boring. I'll tell you exactly what they're thinking about doing when we come back after the break. You're listening to Jeff Sports.
WLEF Sports Network.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming into your Sears Hometown store for all your lawn and garden needs. And remember, we have appliances, so be sure to come in and buy a washer so you don't get laundry up to your eyeballs.
Hi, folks. I'm Gary at Sears. For every box of detergents that's sold, Robert said he'd give me a raise, so please come by and buy some. Thank you.
See Robert, Gary, and the entire crew at your hometown Sears store, Food City Center, Woodson Mall of Follett.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Portnoy at the world famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, riding with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pastas, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Hello, folks. This is Robert again from...
That's wonderful. Welcome back to the Tuesday night edition of Just Sports. My name is Les Martin, along with Brent Allen. It's time to take it up a notch.
Yep.
Time to take it up a notch. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the reason why the National Football League says they do not want to be known as being boring. The extra points. It's a 19-yard attempt. Out of 1,267 of them, 1,262 was made. It is one of the, I hate watching an extra point. How do you feel about that?
I believe it is now a moot point, pun intended. It really is. It's a moot point. No, I mean, nobody. It's an afterthought. People, they see the touchdown scored, they get up, go get a drink, go to the restroom, whatever.
They don't watch it.
Right. They don't stand by. Now, if it's the last play and it's a 1 point, game, whatever, then it could come into play, but very, very seldom.
Well, let me tell you what the National Football League is talking about doing. Come on, you can't see from here. Trust me. You can't even see my hand. Thank you. Let me tell you what the National Football League is going to do, or thinking about doing. They're thinking about moving the extra point back to the 25-yard line, which means if you add another 10 yards to it for the length of the end zone, it's 35, and then 7 yards deep, it's a 42-yard extra point. Now,
Yeah, it might be more interesting to go ahead and go for 2 or more likely.
Exactly.
Especially if you've got any kind of weather issues, wind, rain, things like that may cause a difficult kick.
You're exactly right. You are. That's exactly the reason why they thought they talked about doing it. Now, whether or not they do, I don't know. But I'm a traditionalist. I like to see things like tradition stay in contact.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Just to be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing that change.
Yeah, well, you have to look at it like this. There comes a time in anything like like racing. We can look at how at some point somebody broke the 200-mile-an-hour barrier, and it was a big deal. And pretty soon everybody was going 200. And it's at one point people were going 210, 215.
Right.
They had to put the restrictor plates on, all that business. It's the same thing. You have to adjust the sport to fit what's going on. At this point, kickers, out of every professional football team we have, kickers, they can do this with their eyes closed, literally. They can close their eyes and take the steps and kick the ball, and it's going to go through probably 99% of the time. So I agree. I think at some point it has become a moot point, and again, just to use the pun, I don't think they should be doing it that way. I think it's a great idea. Traditionalist is one thing, but the tradition was leather helmets, and
Right.
we've got enough sense to change it, progress and to move forward and see what the future is.
Well, I would like to see the change, just to be perfectly honest with you. Now, a lot of folks out there would say they wouldn't, but stop and think about it. It's one of those situations to where, would you rather go for 2 from the 2-yard line, or would you try to kick the extra point from 42 yards out? Now, here's the situation. If you're in Chicago, Green Bay, if you're in Seattle, if you're in the Meadowlands at the Giants Stadium, you're going to think twice about kicking that 42-yard extra point.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in San Francisco,
Right.
kicking into the sun, you can't see the goalposts. There's times they play those evening games when the sun's going down, you can't see. Oakland, same way.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough.
So I think it's something to be discussed. Do I think they'll change it this year? No, I don't think they'll change it this year, but it's one of those situations. It's certainly something that they're going to be looking at, not only through this year, but probably next as well. But I would love to see it happen.
Well, it would make things more interesting. I think people would be less likely to get up and walk home and say, okay, that's 7 and go on. So it certainly would change things up. And I could see a good use for it. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Also, we're going to stay with the NFL for just a little bit. Jonathan Martin says he does not want to return to the Miami Dolphins, although Richie Incognito, if you've seen the story here just a couple of days ago, the guy took a baseball bat to his Ferrari.
Yeah, checked into some kind of a clinic for
Psychiatric treatment in Arizona.
Yeah.
I think the only place in Arizona that I know that folks go to is a rehab place. That's what you hear about the most in Arizona.
Well, they have nice names for them, but yeah, I think that's probably what it is. If I were a betting man, I would say that's the case. He's got issues that are more than just anger issues.
Well, it's one of those situations to where Jonathan Martin took a lot of flack from a lot of different people, including myself, because if you're a big old offensive lineman and you're going to sit around and you're going to leave a football team, the Miami Dolphins, because you're being bullied, I'm thinking, come on, big guy.
Well, you got to
take him to the ground.
Keep this in mind too. You're not the only one. The guy that's bullying you is bigger than you. Yeah, you might be 6'5" and 300 pounds, but the guy bullying you is 6'7" and 320 pounds, and he's got a really bad attitude. I'm not taking up for the guy, but I will say this. I've had a child that's been bullied, and I know how angry it made me.
Right.
It's again, you want to say man up. You're getting paid all this money. You're a grown man. But if you have to come to work every day, it's a hostile work environment. And yes, it's a hostile game, and it's a violent game. I'm with that.
Right.
I love that. In fact, that's my favorite part of the game. But
The violence.
right, but that doesn't mean that you should be in your locker room having to deal with embarrassment or ridicule from other players. So I'm kind of on the fence, I guess. I can see where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's kind of tough to imagine a guy his size, crying to the coach, "Hey, he's picking on me."
You're right. Exactly. Well, Richie Incognito, like we said earlier, check yourself into a rehab facility. I call it a rehab facility. It's for psychiatric treatment. Whatever goes along with that, you read between the lines. But they've got a lot of different names for them that colors them pretty, that makes them pretty.
No, yeah.
You put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Plain and simple. Also, the 49ers was wanting to trade Jim Harbaugh. Did we talk about that Thursday night briefly?
Yeah, I'm confused about that. So.
Well, here's the situation. The Cleveland Browns was wanting a coach. So they approached the 49ers to do a trade. They was going to trade some draft picks and pay some money to the San Francisco 49ers to get the coach from San Francisco.
I thought it was a joke.
No.
I mean, when I heard this, I thought, are they serious? They're talking about trading for a coach?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
is that bad?
Cleveland's that bad.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah, but they need a coach, no doubt. But I don't know. I didn't even think that was possible, honestly.
Well, it's one of those situations to where you put, if you're Jimmy Haslam and you're wanting to get a good coach, it's going to bring some respectability to the program. You're going to get somebody like Jim Harbaugh. And the 49ers nixed the plan, although they didn't say, okay, let's go ahead and forget about the trade. It wasn't like that Cleveland Browns picked the phone up and called them, and they said no right away. The 49ers kicked it around. So now, yes. So now there's some bad blood between Jim Harbaugh and the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers, and his name escapes me at the moment. But Jim Harbaugh is under contract until 2015, and he said that he will coach up until 2015, had no plans of leaving early or any of that fact. So.
Well, that certainly would cause, I can see how it would cause a rift, with your, in the front office and the the coach and all. But, it's a business, and it's like anything else. It seems like Jimmy Haslam could throw some money around there and get something going.
Oh, absolutely.
There's got to be somebody out there and all they need to do is excite the Cleveland fans.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. And that's why they're wanting a big name, successful coach, and he's relatively young. I can understand them wanting him, but I think that's just an odd way to go about it. Maybe there's other guys out there, and I know Gruden's probably off limits. He's probably not likely, but and I don't even know if they'd want him. But there's got to be somebody out there that they can get that would excite the Cleveland fans.
Well, I would think so. I would certainly think so anyway. But
at this point, anybody just about should excite them, because they've got it. There's somebody out there's got to be able to coach. I'd give somebody a shot. I'd look at I'd give Nick Saban a call. Of course, he's already done his damage in the NFL, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. I was trying to find that information about, there it is. He says he has zero chance to leave the 49ers before 2015. Jim Harbaugh says that he doesn't want to be one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL, and he's not leaving San Francisco, which that's saying a whole lot about Jim Harbaugh, because if he's not wanting to be one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL, then that tells me one thing and one thing only, and that is the fact that he is after results. And the results being the fact of taking his team to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'd say he's after longevity as well.
Right.
You're known as a great coach, and you take the money and run, go to Cleveland and lose 4 years in a row, and they boot you out of there. What have you got now? your career's over.
Exactly. Would
It's a
you,
career killer.
yeah, would you rather have $20 million now, or would you rather have over a period of 4 years, or would you rather have $5 million a year for the next 15 years?
Yeah, if it's a job I enjoy, I'm going with the
Longevity.
Longevity, yeah.
Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air?
Well, I guess I'll talk while Ryan and the family's eating supper, so you probably right before it's time to go on.
Well, he probably will, but I think that he's probably got a lot on his plate. He just,
Well, the girl maybe have a ball practice too.
right, exactly. So,
They did a real good perfect play at church.
oh yeah,
Sunday, the young ones. Yeah, they. Cora gets right in there.
oh yeah,
I wouldn't say Peyton Manning spoke about little garbage.
yeah. I'm
So
sure
when
he did.
they got that doctor's permission to go ahead and play, he won't bring no money to Gelman Town. He's nor his family either. So I just wasted my time writing that now.
No, you didn't.
It got thrown in the garbage.
Maybe not.
Good job, fella.
Alrighty. There's some hard feelings between Trent Baalke, which is the general manager. There's a power struggle with Baalke and Jim Harbaugh. I'm thinking if I'm your general manager and you're Jim Harbaugh and you're bringing me results, you know that's the best thing for myself, for me to do?
What's that?
Go up in my office and stand there and count the seats that's the hind ends that's in the seats,
Yeah.
and count the
Smile.
money that's coming in,
Yeah.
and say, you do whatever you need to do, Mr. Jim.
Yeah. I agree.
That's exactly what I would do. Also, NASCAR. Boy, did I hit
Yeah,
that.
you
Did
called
I
that.
not hit it on the head. I picked Harvick to win Phoenix. He did. And I already know who's going to win in Las Vegas Sunday. But I'm going to save that for Thursday.
Oh, okay.
I'm
A
going to save.
teaser.
Yeah, absolutely. But Harvick ran away with the race. Apparently had the dominant car. Done an extremely good job with finishing the race. Led most laps. Won the victory. And
Did a great job on the restarts. You know, there's so much
yeah.
that goes into it. You know, they talked about it there during the race, and all of us race car drivers don't realize how many things can go wrong on a restart. You know, I mean, just spinning the tires can put you from first to worst. You know, I mean, just depending on how things work out. Spinning the tires, missing a gear. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen. And so he did a great job. And like you said, I agree. I think he just had the car that had the power to pull away. That he didn't have to really run it hard to get enough out of it, and that was the difference.
also, Tennessee is looking at an in-state quarterback. It is Nick Tiano. He's been in Knoxville several times, including games this past season. He's 6'5", 230 pounds, and he's coming way up to Chattanooga. So, you know, he was able to speak to several coaches on the Vols coaching staff, including offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach Mike Bajankian, as well as head coach Butch Jones. He says it was good. It was a good time to good time to spend with Coach Bajankian, and he's excited about coming to the University of Tennessee. Tennessee's on his list, as well as Vanderbilt, North Carolina, Mississippi State also.
Is that the kind of guy we're looking for, though? I just have to wonder how mobile he can be at 6'5", 230.
I don't know. When everybody sees Riley Ferguson play this year coming up, they're going to forget about everybody else coming in.
Yeah, well, that makes me wonder, you know, how serious Tennessee is about this young man here, just because of the size. But you never know. I mean, Jared Lorenzen was like 350 pounds, and he could still move. So that's, you know, I guess it's just from watching, the Peyton Manning style guys. It gives me the impression that he probably won't be that elusive in the pocket.
Well, you know what? Colin Kaepernick is 6'5".
He is, but it's a different 6'5". He's an athlete. whereas Manning's not so much of an athlete as he is a technician.
And did you hear today about Jarnell Stokes? If he comes back for his senior year, is going to play football for the
I
University
did
of
not.
Tennessee?
I heard a little mention about it and heard he was going to. I heard
Well, he said that if he comes back for his senior season, that he's going to go play football for the University of Tennessee, whether it's a week or whatever, if he still decides that he likes it, and if he can handle it, whatever the case. He didn't say handle it, but that's what I said. But he has talked to Coach Jones. Coach Jones has mentioned to him, as well as Conzo Martin. So
Coach Jones needs to contact Nike and get them working on those size 22 cleats already. Get them going now.
oh yeah, absolutely.
It's going to take a lot of material flows.
And I found out also from Jimmy Himes today that the kid can have 2 years eligibility, junior and senior, as playing football.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either until today.
That's interesting. I wonder though, from a career standpoint, is that a wise thing for him to do? Does he have a future in NBA? I mean, I know it's early, but
Well, Jimmy Himes thinks that Darnell Stokes will go pro after this year.
oh, so this would be a moot point again. We wouldn't have to talk about it.
Right. But, that's just what Jimmy said, but I personally don't think that he will. I think that Darnell Stokes is a smart enough individual to where he will come back for his senior season and get better at the game of basketball because
He needs to.
he absolutely. I think he can play at the next level if he gets better. But I think if he leaves after his junior season, I think it's the biggest mistake that he's probably will make.
I agree. Just in my humble opinion, he can't handle every time he gets double teamed. He loses the ball. He loses everything. It's like he can do anything except handle a double team.
Right.
And he's got to fix that before he goes pro.
Exactly. Thank God, Just Sports, you on the air.
Yeah, could you tell me you're still going to be on time in the morning?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. It is.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't think he can handle the double team extremely well either.
Yeah, I mean, just watching him, every time he's been shut down, it's due to other teams, double teaming him and just putting a lot of pressure on him, and he just can't handle the pressure yet. He's strong enough. We know how big and all that stuff he is, but he needs a little more aggression. He needs to be a little more aggressive and really go to the hoop there.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of UT basketball, they're 18-11. They're 9-7 in the Southeastern Conference. They are in 5th place. Now, here's their RPI. Their RPI is 47. Their strength of schedule rank is 19.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
But here's the bad thing. The strength of schedule just about a week or so ago was 10. So because they're playing some less than average teams, their strength of schedule drops or actually increases. It increased from 10 to from 19, which is not good. It needs to
Is
drop.
that nationally?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, College of Sports. You're on there.
Yes, the school schedule warrant.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye. I guess I said bye after I hung up, didn't I?
Yeah, but it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, it's the thought that counts. Yes, that's national.
So nationally, at one point they had the top 10 or the top 10 as far as the schedule goes.
Strength
One
of
of the
schedule.
toughest.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing. 19 is still impressive. That's going to help them out.
They're going to play Auburn at Auburn Wednesday night, I believe it's tomorrow night, and then they'll play Missouri. They'll finish Missouri up at Missouri or at home against Missouri. They need to win those 2 games. Also, Lenardi said that Tennessee is in the NCAA tournament. Joe Lenardi, and he is one of the most probably experienced and most talented individual that I've seen to pick the teams that's on the bubble or that's in. He says Tennessee's in if they win the last 2 games of the regular season, and as long as they don't have a bad loss in the Southeastern Conference, then they'll be in the NCAA tournament. Which, at the same time, they were saying the same thing last year, and Tennessee went to the NIT only to get beat in the 2nd round.
Yeah, well, speaking of a bad loss in the SEC, how about that shellacking they put on Vanderbilt? Was that not a thing of beauty?
I have looked for that from the University of Tennessee on more than one occasion because they was able to put that shellacking on a lot of teams they played. Texas A&M, Vanderbilt the first time they played them. A lot of UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, they should have beat. They should have beat Xavier the first time they played them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of teams that they could have beat like that, or beat period, that they lost.
Yeah, I agree. They should at least have 22, 23 wins right now.
But of course they've only got 18. But it's just tough. I personally do not have the University of Tennessee in the NCAA tournament, even if they win the last 2 games.
Me either. I don't. But a lot of it is probably just knowing after watching. You have to think about the entire country. You know, the way everyone else sees them may be a little different than what we see. You know, I mean, I'm hanging on every win or loss as to how it might work out with Bruce Pearl coming back. You know, I know that's silly, but it's something that I keep an eye on, and certainly, you know, Conzo helped his stock there with holding Vanderbilt to 39. I think it was 38 or 39.
38 points, yeah.
Lowest in history, I guess, in that rivalry.
Almost beat them by 40 points. Beat them by 38 points.
Yeah. So that's a big game.
Tennessee is 12-3 at home, which is a very good, respectable win-loss record at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're 3-7 away. They've needed some help at away games. They're 2-1 at neutral sites. And like I said, the strength of schedule is 19, and the RPI is 47. I look for Tennessee to win the next 2 games. Of course, Missouri is going to be a tough game, but I think with it being at Knoxville, I think that's going to be the difference maker for the University of Tennessee men's basketball team. Also, I believe that they will play well in the Southeastern Conference tournament. I think that they'll probably go to the semifinal round, possibly the quarterfinals. I don't know exactly, but I do believe that they'll win a game or 2 in the Southeastern Conference, and as long as they do that, that has got to help
their chances
the chances of getting into the big dance.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But again, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes, because you never know who's going to show up. You know, it's just they're so streaky that it's tough to call.
And it's the inconsistency.
It is. Not in Missouri. I'd be really surprised if we can pull that one off. I don't think we'll beat Missouri. So
Really?
no, I don't think so. I think we'll go 1-1. There's 2 games left, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say we go 1-1.
Yeah. Yes. There's 2 games left for the University of Tennessee. It's going to be Auburn at Auburn, and of course it's going to be Missouri. Yep, it's going to be Missouri
At home, right?
at home. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like to pick against them, especially at home, but I think Missouri takes that one. But they'll go 1-1, end up with 19 wins in the regular season.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, they play at Auburn, and they play Missouri at home on Saturday at 4 o'clock. I ain't believing that, but it's. I really think that Tennessee will win both games.
Well,
I mean, I really do. I think
if you're calling that like you called the NASCAR race, then I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know.
Yeah.
But we never know.
No.
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just it's a lack of confidence in them. Honestly, I mean, depending on how they show up, they've just not shown me that they have the ability to come out night after night and play with that kind of intensity. Now, on the other hand.
But the players, they are, the players are a, what's the word I'm looking for? If the coach is non-motivational, if he's kind of blah, then the players is a product of the coach.
True. Yeah, I agree. And depending on how, Coach Martin comes out, then that's,
Look at
how I want to play.
Look at Bruce Pearl. Bruce Pearl, it didn't matter. He may not have had the best team on the court, but his enthusiasm and his motivation, they sure played like they was the better team on the court.
Right. Even if they weren't, they played as if they were. Was strictly just confidence that they got from the coach.
Exactly.
Goes a long way.
I think Coach Martin is, he's probably a good coach, probably a good guy, but I'm not thinking he's right for he's right for Tennessee.
I agree. Speaking of Tennessee, we talked about a little bit of football. I understand Pig Howard is going to be out. Is that indefinitely? What's the word on that?
Well, he's going to take a leave of absence from the football team, and that will be for this year.
Last year's leading receiver, if I remember correctly. Reception-wise.
Right, reception-wise. And, of course, they're not saying anything right now because they're saying personal reasons of Pig Howard, the reason why he's not on the team and the reason why he's going to take a leave of absence. I can only think or would probably guess that it would have to be something that was done at school where he wasn't making the grades or he got in trouble or he got caught with something that he probably shouldn't have got caught with. I think it's got to be somewhere along the lines of that, simply because they're not coming out. Because if it was something at home, wouldn't you say he's got some family issues that he needs to attend to?
You would think so.
Well, nobody
All I've seen was personal issues, and they don't have a timetable as to whether he'll be back.
He could be one of those guys, and I certainly don't want you to think I'm starting any rumors, but he certainly could be one of those guys that have a substance abuse issue with pain pills.
Sure.
Because
it's possible.
It's and you know, when I say that with a very loose lips, simply because of the fact I don't know the fact that is the case, but it's something that they're wanting to protect a young man on, and over a period of time it will come out, and you'll know the reason why.
Yeah, eventually we'll know. In the meantime, though, have you seen any of the pictures floating around on the internet of the guys from the gym?
No.
Let me tell you something. There's going to be some people blown away when Jalen Hurd hits the field. That young man, I don't know what they're feeding him over there. He was already 6'3", pushing 230, coming out of high school as a running back. And I'm telling you, the guy has arms like legs. He has put on, and I don't know how much weight he's put on, but it's muscle. And I can assure you this, T. Martin would not call him soft, or what was the other term he used, weak, or something along those lines. He wouldn't say it to his face. I can guarantee you that. The guy is a monster.
Well, I know that some of the spring trainings that they're talking about, there's two names that came to mind to Butch Jones very first off the bat, and that was Kurt Maggitt was one of them, and Vickers, another one, which is a young man that's playing as a down lineman. Also, he has improved tremendously and put on probably around 40 pounds of, I don't want to say 40 pounds of muscle, but 40 pounds of body weight.
Yeah. And
he was extremely fast already, but with the weight that he's putting on, I think he'll be fine. He's going to be a down lineman. But Kurt Maggitt is going to be one of those guys also that has done a very good job with making sure that he has gotten better at his.
I'm looking forward to seeing the guy play.
Oh.
I'm telling you, it seems like he's hurt all the time, and we never get to see him actually do his thing.
And maybe that's what he needed. Maybe he needed a good. Let's face it. This is Butch Jones' second season coming up. It's his first full season in the weight room. From the end of the season last year until the beginning of the season this year. And I think that you're going to see a lot of difference in a lot of these guys that played last year that was in so-called so-so shape. I think you're going to see a lot different.
Lean.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot leaner.
Lean, mean, and fast. So that's my opinion anyway. And with that being said, man, we're out of time.
Amazing.
It is.
Seems like we just got started.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to join us here on the AM side of the dial of 1450, also 1450WLAF.com, as well as WLAF Channel 12 for all of our wonderful sponsors that make this show possible. And, of course, our executive producer, Honeybee. My name is Les Martin.
I'm Brent Allen. God bless and go Cougars.
WLAF Sports Network.
Hello folks, this is Robert again from your Sears Hometown Store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed or having a backache or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears Hometown Store. So come on down to your Sears Hometown Store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Porter, the world's famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see